Hey guys, welcome back to another Sparkle adventure. I have recently just moved into this classic size Happy Planner and deluxe cover, and it is desperately in need of some dashboards. For supplies, I'll be using products from past TPS kits, stickers, various ephemera packs and die cuts. I'll also have more textured items like these stickers and doilies, burlap tags, rhinestones, and washi galore. And as for papers, I have this Forever Fall pack from Simple Stories. I absolutely love these designs in that they incorporated pink with fall, because obviously pink and fall are two of my most favorite things. I also have the Auburn Lane 12x12 paper pack. I picked this up from Tuesday Morning recently. I think that this is perfect for, really a lot of things, but fall in particular. And then lastly, I have a Hot Buy paper pack from Michaels. I got this last year, and as you can see, I've definitely been through it, picked out some of my favorite things, but I kept it so that I could use more of it for this year's setup as well. To start things off on the first dashboard, I wanted to use a really big piece, and I remembered seeing this coffee cup that says Hello Fall in the Hot Buy paper pack. And I thought it would be the perfect way to start off a fall setup, and especially in the front of the planner, it would be perfect. So I just took my scissors and kind of fussy cut around it. I didn't want the whole piece, just the coffee cup. So yeah, I cut it out. The Hello Fall piece, I pulled out the Forever Fall pack from Simple Stories because I love these papers, and then I did some trial and error to see which paper pattern I liked best in combo with the Hello Fall coffee cup. After comparing all the options, I settled on the orange and white polka dotted sheet because I loved that it was pretty simple, so no matter what else I layered with the Hello Fall piece, it would all work really well together and be perfectly fall. So then the next step was to cut it down to size, which I believe I did 7 3/4 by 9 3/4, which is slightly larger than the classic size piece of paper in the Happy Planner. But as a dashboard, I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, so that size worked for me. Okay, so now that we have the paper cut down to size, it's really just a series of trial and error to see what other accent pieces work well together but aren't distracting from the main piece, which is the coffee cup, and look really well together. So first I pulled out the patterns from the Simple Stories pack that were predominantly white but had other colors that were accents, like this triangle page and this floral page. The floral page was a little bit busy, so I ended up not using that one. But what I loved about the triangles was, again, it accents with the other pieces, but because it's just simple triangles, it's not too distracting. As I was looking at these pattern papers, I looked over and saw my craft paper doilies, and I thought, oh, that's going to be the perfect base because the brown isn't distracting, but the pattern of the outside of the doily adds a little bit of texture and depth to the dashboard so far. So I was like, that'll be the perfect base. And then as you can see, I'm looking at the different patterns to see which I like better. And like I said earlier, I did end up going with the triangle paper because it accents it. It's not too distracting, not too busy. It's perfect. And if you've seen me make dashboards before, you know I absolutely love torn paper, because if you tear it the right way, again, you'll see me do it here. I pull it from the back to the front. you get this white edge on the outside, which isn't distracting. It adds a great element of texture and dimension to your layering, and I think it's totally awesome. This is really getting into the details, but I want to talk about the thickness of the patterned paper and the ripped piece in the background. If it was too tall and thick, it would really compete with the Hello Fall coffee cup when it comes to like where your eyes would go. But if it was too thin, it wouldn't really be, it wouldn't add the kind of dimension that we're looking for, and the cup would really dominate. So I did this size, I'd probably say it's maybe 2/3 the size of the cup, but I placed it in the center, and as you can see, it's smaller than the doily. So the sizing of everything is really working together well here. Next, I was looking at the supplies that I had, and you see that brown leaf on the bottom right corner of the coffee cup. I knew the perfect accent piece to kind of counteract that brown would be a burlap tag. I must have gotten this at Joann by looking at the brand name, but if you see, it's just perfect. It adds an accent, it's not distracting, it balances out with the brown on the bottom of the coffee cup, and it's perfect. So from here, I played around with a lot of different accent pieces and die cuts and ephemera to see what worked really well. But to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the end and show you the finished dashboard, which is right here. As you can see, I added a gold leaf. It's a wood piece that I think I actually got from Target in their dollar spot a few years ago. I added one of those butterflies that you saw. It's a, cute little piece from the Maggie Holmes Heritage Collection. And then I added some florals, one to the left of the burlap tag, one at the bottom next to the gold leaf, and then a really subtle one to the right of the burlap tag as well. I love how all of these pieces came together. And again, none of them really distract from Hello Fall. It all kind of adds to it because everything else that I added was a subtle color. It's not going to be a bold blue or anything too distracting. So I'm just so happy with how this turned out. And yeah. We're done with this side, it is time to flip it over and get working on the next dashboard. I absolutely hate leaving a page undecorated if it's double-sided, so I was kind of happy that I didn't have to go very far to figure out what the next one would be. I already had the pattern picked out and it was time to figure out what we were going to do with it. My next step was to look through the ephemera packs that I had and see what could work to throw together a decorative dashboard. Although since the front of this one was purely decorative and had no function, I wasn't quite sure that I wanted this one to be decorative, so it was kind of trial and error to see what I had and see what I could come up with. As you can see here, I'm going through an ephemera pack, and this one, again, is from Maggie Holmes because I'm just pretty much obsessed with everything she creates. This is the Flourish collection. And when I originally got this, I thought it was kind of more fitting for fall than it actually is. This might actually be better for spring. So I pulled out some of the pieces that might work, but again, I was just kind of thinking as I was going through this stuff that I didn't really want a decorative dashboard. And that's when it occurred to me that there was something that I have always wanted to do, but I've never done in my planner. So that's when I came up with, ta-da! I did a fall bucket list dashboard. Okay, so like I said, this is something I've always wanted to do, is a seasonal bucket list in my planner. And I've seen them on Instagram and I'm so excited that I finally have one. But let's back it up so we can show you how this all came together from the beginning. As you can see, the plaid is pretty busy and I didn't want to just put the bucket list right on top of it. I knew that I would need some sort of piece of paper on the inside, but I didn't want to just go with straight white paper. I thought that something that had maybe some texture but wasn't like a pattern would be perfect. And then that's when I found this piece in the paper pack from Michaels. It has the huge decoration on the bottom, and I measured out to see if there was enough space in the center, and there is. So I trimmed off the acorn border and the characters at the bottom, and it kind of has a nice textury fall look to it, and it was perfect. Okay, so to start things out with a header, I didn't want to do like a big long box. I really didn't want to do any sort of box because I thought that I would probably end up using a lot of half boxes like you see on the right-hand side there for the actual bucket listy things, which you saw and will see in a second. So I love the idea of doing a doily in the corner, and then these, of course, Maggie Holmes letters. These are from the Carousel collection, but I love that they're on clear sticker paper. So they look kind of like hand-drawn, but I didn't have to draw myself. So I wrote out fall bucket list on the doily, and then the header was done. So now that I have the header down, it was time to actually work on the bucket list page itself. This was where I was really kind of going blind. I grabbed the fall sticker book from Happy Planner because that had, I think, maybe 2 or even 3 pages of bucket list items drawn out or written out on clear sticker paper. So I was like, those are a great starting point. I can kind of pick out what I want to put on my bucket list, and then I can use quarter boxes and half boxes from various Happy Planner sticker books that go along with the color scheme of fall. And if I see a decorative sticker that goes around with the item, for example, making s'mores, you can see me picking up the bucket list sticker there. I have a quarter box maroonish color from this fall sticker book. And then I actually found s'mores in a memory keeping Happy Planner sticker book. So I put those 3 stickers down together, and that's pretty much what I did for the whole page, was just see what I had room for, stick it down, and go with complementary colors. Okay, so I wanted to hop in here and kind of talk a little bit about why I chose some of these things that I did. I definitely did read a book on my list because I remembered that I had the sticker from my shop. It has my character Chloe sitting in a chair reading a book, and I was like, you know what, it is perfect. And I also just picked up a new book from a secondhand bookstore from Mindy Kaling. So I was like, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity to inspire me to read and use a sticker. And some of the other things I chose to put on my bucket list were things that I had already done. I mean, I figured it doesn't really matter if I've already done them. It doesn't have to be a list of things I haven't done yet. It just has to be a fall bucket list. And I absolutely hate a daunting or overwhelming bucket list because, I don't know, then it's just a stressful thing and not a fun thing. And this was a perfect way to remember the things that I'd already done. So some of those things that I had done already were visit a pumpkin patch and have a family game night. So I loved that I could memory keep those things that I've already done, but I also have room to keep doing more fun fall things. As for the things I haven't done yet, there's make s'mores, go to a fall festival, and bake pumpkin bread. And actually, between the time of me filming this and recording this voiceover, I did go to a fall festival with Dan on Saturday. It was a fun date day. I shared the day and all of the fun things in my Instagram stories, so make sure you follow me on Instagram to get the latest on what I'm up to. I am at Sparkle Adventures, and I'm super active on my stories, and I also post some really awesome things to my feed too, so give me a follow. Okay, so the other two things on the list are bake pumpkin bread and make s'mores. I think I'm going to have to make pumpkin bread pretty darn soon because I love it and it's perfect for fall. And making s'mores sounds like a lot of fun to do with my niece, so that might wait until I go up and visit my family around Thanksgiving. But I definitely think that this is a bucket list I'll be able to check everything off. Okay, so I'm actually going to end this video here. I do have 2 more dashboards to show you, but this video has gotten kind of long, so I'll save that for the next video. Before we go, I wanted to take a minute and tell you about and show you my brand new website at sparkleadventures.com. I have started blogging, and I actually put up a post this week all about a planner challenge I'm putting myself through for November, December, and maybe even all of 2020. I'll make sure to put the links to both the website and this specific blog post in the description down below so you can check them out. You can also see my latest Instagram posts and the latest collection in my Etsy shop. So thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those dashboards, and I'll see you next time. Bye!